Welcome today with TT. We are starting with gratitude and how you can cultivate thankfulness in your day-to-day life. With me here is a special guest by name
Eugene Addico.
All right, so Eugene Addico is actually a family person, another dear old student. So as we dive into today's topic, we are going to talk about gratitude. How do you practice gratitude in your day-to-day life?
Okay, so gratitude is basically being thankful for the little things that are being done for you, be it your parents, your family, your friends, your colleagues at work, whatever they do for you. You have to show gratitude for it. It might be little or it might be much, but as you said, all things are not the same. So if you are going to do if someone is doing something for you, you should appreciate it no matter how little it is.
When last did you practice that, like showing gratitude, and then to whom did you show that to? Did it give you any benefit after that?
Okay, so my personality, I would say I'm someone who shows gratitude every day. I'm very thankful for life and for my upbringing, especially with my parents and then those around me who have come this far to support me throughout my education, my work life. Many people out there who have sowed seeds into my life, and I always pray for them in my closet, and I show the little gratitude I can anytime I can.
Okay, so aside prayers, are there some particular words you say to them, or are there things you give out to them to show that you are grateful for what they've done?
Oh yes, so there are times I just upload a status, or sometimes I randomly just send a text, or I give them a phone call to talk about a time that they gave me an opportunity that I thought I wouldn't have. So that's basically how I show them.
But I've noticed that here in Ghana, most people show gratitude during festive seasons.
Yes.
How can you relate to that? Do you normally do it during like festive seasons? You call people to thank them, or you feel like, okay, when you do it now, I'm thanking them right now?
Okay, so I'm not really a festive person. Okay, so for me, I don't pay so much significance in doing things for people or showing appreciation during the festive season. So I do it on a daily basis. You know, Valentine just passed, and to someone, they feel like Valentine's is the best time to show love to someone or to be grateful to people for what they have done for you. But for me, I think it's an everyday something. People ask me, why don't I give out gifts on Valentine's Day? And I'm like, is it the only time to give? I'm okay with others doing it, but for me, I'll do it when the time is right. Yes, but on a daily basis, I show gratitude to people all the time.
In our culture, sometimes our parents say that when someone does something good for you, you thank the person today, and the next morning you go to. Have you tried that before?
Yeah, that thing, after they're giving you a gift, you have to call back the next day and then repeat the same thanks. Well, yes, I've been trained on that, but it's not something that I really, do.
Okay. Yeah. How do you feel when you do something for someone and the person doesn't thank you back, like for what you've done for the person?
Okay. It's not really something I do pay attention to a lot, but okay, if I see that it's something that you generally do not do, like you don't do it at all, you don't mind about saying thank you to me, it will get to a point I'll just stop even trying to help you. So that is basically me. And even if I stop, it's not like I would never try to help you when you need me, but I wouldn't give you that as much as I would if you were thankful.
But you're a Christian. So do you think it's right not to give the person your all because the person didn't thank you. Because you remember, I don't know where the verse is, but 10 people were healed or helped, right? And then only one came back to thank.
Yes.
So do you think it's okay to say that the person didn't come and thank me back, so I am not going all out for the person?
Okay, so I'm going to use that same scripture you're using to come against you. So you see, when the other 9, they went without coming back to say thanksgiving, the one that came back, what did Jesus say to him? He said, "You have been made whole." So God gave him a complete healing. So he was healed physically, financially, socially, everythingly. So it's different when you show gratitude to someone, but when you don't show gratitude, obviously you don't get the best of the person. That's what I can say.
Nice. Do you think gratitude has an effect or impact on your mental well-being, like mental health, when you talk about mental health?
Yes, it does, very much.
How?
Okay, so I'll use this example. If a person is in a classroom, okay, and then the person is giving up the best, let me use students, they give up their best, they are trying to impress their teachers, but the teacher doesn't see the work of the students, or is trying to make the student feel like he can do better, but the student feels like he has done his best. I want to use an example of myself, okay? There were times in JHS when I would do my best when it comes to maybe, let me use P-Tech. Okay, so I was quite good with P-Tech, and I would do everything, but my P-Tech teacher would not give me the best of marks. He would tell me that you can do better than this. But someone would do something very simple and he would get better marks than I do. So if you are not someone who is appreciative of the little, even though you think you deserve better, you tend to be like, okay, no matter what I do, they don't appreciate me, so I'll just do anything I like and then I'll just go.
Sometimes when you just spoke about high school or when you were in primary school. So you remember when you are late or you don't do something, you are caned and then you're asked to say thank you. Do you think that kind of thank you is offensive? Like, it's from the person's end, the person is saying it out of pain, right? Do you think it's needed, or you think sometimes when you go through pain, saying thank you is going to make things feel or look better?
I think that thank you that they use to ask us to say is not really to show gratitude for the correction, but it's kind of to calm you down in that circumstance, because because you are crying and you don't, and everybody's watching you, okay, and if you are forced to say that thank you, you are a bit calm at that moment. You don't continue the shedding of tears, and I think it helps. It doesn't do anything, doesn't change anything. You have beaten me, finish. You come to. So easy. Yeah, that's how I see it.
Okay, thank you. I think if you go back to like our culture and all that we've learned through school, we have a lot of history talking about things like, let me say, we are in March right now, and then we just celebrated Independence Day. We have to show appreciation to people, those who were involved in gaining independence for Ghana. So do you think that we should still be thanking those who are already dead and gone, or the leaders who are still in here trying to help and make sure that the legacy is maintained for all of us in the country?
That's a very good question. So for me, yes, celebrating our heroes is very, very important. You cannot take our forefathers out of the history books. It's very important to celebrate our leaders who fought for our freedom. Without them, we wouldn't have come this far or gained our independence. So if you are going to take them out of the history books, then I really do not see how we can move forward as a country. Because every story begins with a heroic act. So if you are going to take that heroic act out of that story, then what? It's your story. Okay, something propelled your what you are currently. So if you are going to take away that something that propelled you to this point, then there's no need celebrating Independence Day.
Okay, so before I allow you to give shout outs or thank those who have helped you in your life, the last question I have for you is, do you think familiarity affects your gratitude? Like, for example, we grew up having maybe our parents there for us all the time. It's their responsibility to give us food to eat. It's not like every time that I eat, I'm supposed to go and say thank you, Mom.
Sure,
you know that.
Sure,
Yeah. So, do you think familiarity of people being responsible for what they are supposed to do, that sometimes affects how we show gratitude, and then it kind of turns into something like your expectation, like entitlement? Yeah, and what do you have to say about that?
What you're saying about our parents, the Bible says what your mother and father, you're supposed to give them your utmost respect and gratefulness anytime they do certain things for you. Familiarity, yes, it sets in when you see it as something that they're supposed to do. Most of us in our African homes, we tend to have arguments with our parents and all that because they feel like sometimes we don't show gratitude for what they do for us.
Yeah.
But despite all these this shaky looking ungratefulness, truly, I believe every son and daughter of every parent is grateful for everything that their parents have done for them. So I think our parents understand, and they do not forsake us because we are not showing that amount of gratitude you are supposed to show. So I guess they're just parents. They will love us either way.
Okay. But aside parents, sometimes it goes beyond that. You have colleagues you work with, and sometimes most of them come to update you when you are not around, what happened and all that. So from my point of view, I think that we should try our best not to get familiar with when people are doing things that they're supposed to do for us, because they can choose not to do it anymore. But when you cultivate the habit of saying thank you, showing gratitude all the time, they don't find it like a burden to always support and help you. So what are some of the words or sweet words you can say when you're trying to show gratitude or thank someone?
Usually I would start with a memory I've had with the person.
Example.
Okay. I think there was recently an auntie of mine got me, and my auntie and uncle, they got me something for my work. And in showing gratitude, I took them back to memory lane, and then I gave them, I reminded them of what they have done for me back then when I was in university, and I told them that all that they have done for me so far, I promised them it will not go waste, and very soon they would enjoy the fruits that they have labored in. Yeah, so that's what I do.
That's great. And what are some of the gifts that you can give out to show gratitude to people?
Gifts.
You personally, like a gift that you feel like, okay, when I'm giving this gift out to this person, I am actually showing that I'm grateful.
Okay, so I do an exchange. Okay, so it's more of when you give me something that I have wanted and you are able to provide, I also tend to look for something that you also need. and try to fulfill that need. Yeah, so it's not a particular gift, but anything that would put a smile on your face. Yeah, it's what I would give to you.
Okay, that's nice. So on that note, we are coming to the end of the podcast. Do you have anybody you want to say thank you to? Any shout outs to give to people out there?
I would say shout out to my parents and that year A1 class 2016 batch. My colleagues at work and Royal House Chapel International at Norfolk, the Apostle General, and my mother, Mama Rita. I wouldn't have come this far. I'm grateful to their discipline and corrections that they have given them to me. Yes, so that's it.
Okay, thank you. We thank you all for joining this podcast. And then you know that always on Day to Day with TT, we have the Amini go-to. So the Amini's go-to is giving back to the community. So for today's podcast, comment at the comment section those you are grateful for. So maybe, Mommy, thank you for what you've done for me. And then the first 3 people are going to they are going to receive something from us. So we are going to mention the winners in the next podcast, and then we are going to help them maybe call their parents or whoever they stated down there, and then we show how grateful the person is to the mother or father or friend. Yes, thank you all so much for joining, and stay tuned with us as we release more podcasts. Thank you. Bye.